Welcome to Hammer Wrench Renovations. This video card has been lost for about 3 months and I came across it today and was very excited. So I wanted to get this put together so I can show you what the camper looked like before we got started. Now we bought this camper about a year and a half ago for $3,500 and it was fully functional, yet we never took it and used it. So we had the idea, Amy and I, to take it apart and build a salon for it. She has done hair for many years. She got out of it a couple of years ago and is interested in doing it again. So what better way to have your own little salon or studio and have it mobile, and you can do it wherever it is you want to do it. So we decided, let's gut the camper, let's build it out, let's put hard sides on it, and let's build the interior to just the way you want it. So we sat down, we got a piece of paper. She told me what she wanted. So I sketched out the walls and printed that out. And that way she could draw in what she wanted where. And so I went off of that and I was able to measure the inside and see where things would go. And so we would know about how much room we have in there. Now the interior is about 9 foot by 6.5 foot usable space, because you can see the back wall and the front wall of the camper slope inward. So your floor space is actually less than the space that's about a foot above the floor. So when we build shelving for this back wall where the station will be, we're going to have to cut the boards to fit that there. Now we didn't intend on keeping any of the appliances inside, the counters, nothing. So we just took and unscrewed everything, took it apart, the water tank, the furnace, the refrigerator, the sink, all of that. Even the electrical. We left the 12-volt system that ran the lights on the top, and that black cord hanging down goes to the air conditioner on the roof. The gas lines will not be used. We will not have any propane running into this. Actually intended on putting in a 50 amp breaker box and running dedicated wires to the water heater, the air conditioner, and her hair dryer, because those are the highest wattage use appliances that will be in this camper. And when those three are combined, it supersedes the 30 amp electrical that was actually inside this unit to start with. So we needed 50 watts. The LED lights that will go on the ceiling only have about 15 watts a piece. There won't be many other plug-ins in there, maybe a wax pot. So we needed around 5,000 watt capability. And so if we have a 50 amp service, that should satisfy the electrical demand needed. Everything inside of this camper is Phillips head screws. So if you've got a screw gun, make sure and use it. You don't want to twist your wrist off trying to do all of this by hand. There's a few pieces that you may need help removing, like that refrigerator, because it is electrical and propane. So it's a bit heavier than a small little micro fridge might be. The electrical system that is in there converts 120 volt to 12 volt and 12 volt to 120, just depending on how you're hooking up, whether you're using shore power or battery power. I did away with all of that, and so I'm going to run my own dedicated electrical. Being the first video in this series, I didn't think about changing the camera angles, so I know you can't see into the tub of the actual camper to see what I'm doing there. We just needed the camera out of the way because we were back and forth getting tools. Off to the left is our small 5x8 trailer that is actually full of all of the stuff that came out of the camper. None of it is hard to take out. So if you're doing this at home, just make sure and have the right tools. Look at what you're going to be up against. Know what you want to use, what you want to take out, and what you want to leave. And then have a plan. Draw it out. Know that if you're going to leave any of the tables, the counters, appliances in there, know where they either will need to move to or where you want them to stay. Those big vents that are on the side there are for the refrigerator, so it could take in air and put out the exhaust if it was ever running on propane. The small little silver looking exhaust port is for the furnace. We won't be using either of those since it's going to be insulated. So a small plug-in electric heater will work inside of there if it happens to get cold. Being in South Georgia, we might have 3 days a year that's below freezing. So not a whole lot of cold weather here. So a little heater inside of a space that's basically 9 by 6 inside should do the job pretty quickly. Now, when you get ready to take on this task, we did this all in one afternoon, and I believe the cumulative time was less than 3 hours. Now, we did stop to take breaks and rest, and even though it is on time lapse and you're only going to be watching just under 7 minutes, um, it's doable in an afternoon. As long as you have a place that you can throw all the junk. If you have a trailer, great. If you have a pile, there's a lot that you can burn. We hauled ours off to the local county dump and put it all in there. Um, Now, while we were not video, and you can see all of the jack stands under it, that back tire is actually about 3 inches off of the ground. I wanted the tub to be level. That way, whenever I got ready to put up studs, anything that was vertical, I knew that we could use a level and get those. But anything horizontal, I wanted side to side, front to back to be level. Thank you for tuning in to Hammer Wrench Renovations. This was definitely a situation to where if a wrench doesn't work, use a hammer. See you guys soon.